So great. We are live on YouTube too. So and I'll just share the YouTube link here so that you can also share with any person later who wants to watch it later. So welcome all. This Bitcoin 101. Of course, we are the host, Louis and Lawrence. This is Decrypt Edge Consultants. And all we do is educate people in terms of cryptocurrency space. We offer consultancy. And our key goal at Decrypt is just education, because information will help you really get the right, have the right, get the right information so that you can invest or maybe even position yourself if you really want to position yourself in the crypto space. So today I was just thinking, if you think about Bitcoin, where it is right now, I think most of us who have known me for quite a while, you've always had me tell you to diversify your funds, not to put everything, but just diversify part of your portfolio. And you can imagine since I think since 2016 2017, I've been talking about Bitcoin. Sharing with my loved ones to just diversify part of their portfolio into Bitcoin. And most of us, what has happened along the way is that we always read negative things on the media, listen to our friends who maybe made an investment in scams and they lost their money, or maybe people who even lost their wallets and they lost their assets, and they will never talk anything good about Bitcoin. So this is the reason that's why for us we are focused on education. Because if people can get the right information, they will always make the right decisions. So today I want us to talk about crypto security, because I think for the last 2 weeks, I've been meeting a few people, and I was so not so much impressed, because I even met a trader who does not even protect the wallet where he trades his cryptos at. And I like, with the volumes, he can just make one slight mistake and all his cryptos are wiped out, or all his cryptos are lost. So today I just want to share with you 10 must-have cryptocurrency security tips. These are 10 must-have uh, security tips. 10 must-have cryptocurrency security tips. And this is an article that was just written just the other day by Danny. Of course, it was updated again by Jessica on May. This is 2020, February 2020, and it was updated again in May 2020. So I hope you have a pen and paper. I won't take a lot of time. So let's go through the 10 must-have cryptocurrency tips. And of course, it's good to know that once you've bought your or bought or received bitcoins or any other cryptocurrency, you now need to keep them as safe as possible. This guide will provide you with essential cryptocurrency security tips. And in this article, number one security tip is take security measures seriously. I'll talk about that. Use complex passwords. These are some of the things we take for granted. Avoid using public Wi-Fi. Beware of phishing scams. I'll expound on that. Do not store your cryptos on exchanges. It's good. I'll share where you should put your cryptos. Keep your devices safe. Keep your devices safe. The other thing is you need to buy a hardware wallet. I'll be talking about types of wallets. And then it's good to enable two-factor authentication. And then keep your cryptos holding private. And then avoid sending funds to wrong addresses. So let's address each one of them as we go. So of course, it's good to know that there are many benefits of Bitcoin. One of many is unprecedented freedom, which it provides from banks through its technology. Of course, you become your own custodian when you're holding Bitcoins, because we've been put or we've been made to believe, especially when we were growing up, that our money is safer when it is in that party's possession. Like if I keep my money, if I put my money at home, I won't feel like it's safer than when it's in the bank. But now cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin allow you to become your own custodian, not that party. So you have that freedom of knowing that I'm in control of my assets. If nobody can come and tell me maybe a bank has gone down or bankrupt or anything, and I maybe I lose all my money. I'm the one who is really taking care of my money. So of course that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies came. These are revolutionary idea. No more banks needed, and I guess now you understand why banks have been fighting cryptocurrency. The idea that you are the sole owner of your own money thanks to the technology. Since basics, though, never had been invented. Like I was explaining, all of us have been made to believe that parties are more better custodians than ourselves. This new freedom is refreshing, although one service that was provided by bank is now under your own responsibility, the security of your assets. And this is the reason that's why today I say let's talk about security, because you don't want to take all of your funds. Like some of us, we don't have any funds in the bank. So you can imagine if I'm holding all my money in cryptocurrency, uh, I need to take really good security measures for me to take care of my assets, for me to take care of my assets. So of course, here you'll find all the basic security tips you must know. Once you are covered, you may want to check advanced crypto securities. Of course, now these for people who run like crypto hedge funds. Of course, there are other deeper and more sophisticated security measures than you need to go through when you are holding very large amounts of crypto. And of course, it comes with a cost. You're gonna go to school learn about cyber security. At times, also maybe you might be forced to also pay some people who provide these services. But this is where now like you're holding a whole lot of cryptos, or maybe you're doing a crypto hedge fund. So number one tip is that take and write this down, note it, take security measures very seriously. Take it seriously. Blockchain and cryptocurrency are inherent safe. Like one thing I'll tell you for a fact, nobody can hack blockchain. So it's safe the way it is. But you being your own custodian, you need to learn how to keep your cryptocurrency safe. Because nobody will ever hack blockchain. But if you're keeping your cryptos maybe on your phone, maybe in an e-wallet on your phone, which you call a hot wallet. If you're keeping your cryptos there, your phone can be prone to hackers based on some of the tips I'll be talking about today. So let's go on. So when you have conversation with other people about cryptocurrency, you easily find the counter argument that they can hack the blockchain or your cryptocurrency. This is a misconception. Many people tend to humble upon. And I think these are some of the things you always hear people say, somebody can hack blockchain and stuff. Misinformation, and I think this is why Decrypt is here, just to demystify some of these things we've had. So it's good to note that this technology is protected by their cryptographic protected algorithm. Cryptographic protected algorithm. Hence the name cryptocurrency. The science behind cryptocurrencies is cryptography. And of course, this is a mathematical science based on algorithms. It's good to know that. So the system itself is already a security measure against hackers. So nobody can break it. To break these, you will need an immense computational power. For example, the oldest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, hasn't been hacked since its inception in 2008. So nobody has ever hacked blockchain since 2008. If hackers can't hack the cryptocurrency itself, it's their obvious target will be the users. So if they cannot hack the system itself, they will go to people who are literally using the cryptocurrency. They will hunt for lack of security and hack the platform you use to store your digital assets to fill their pockets. Therefore, the most important security tip is to take security measures and take them very seriously. That's tip number one. Take security measures seriously. I've met people who have blockchain wallet, they don't even have their private key. The only thing they have is the password they created, and then number two, the thing they have is the PIN. And they think that thing is very safe. You need your private key. These are some of the things I usually say: learn, ask questions, learn and learn and learn and learn. So tip number one, take security measures seriously, because as you've had, hackers will never go for blockchain technology. It's unhackable. They will go for users, and users is you and I, people who are holding their cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency. Number two tip, security measure, is that use complex passwords. Use complex passwords. And even before I read these, I think we have this tendency of using the same password for everything. Your Gmail, your everything you open that requires a password. Some people even save their password when they see that alert on of safe password. And you think, it's my gadget. It's only me who will be using. So on your laptop, you save your password. On your phone, you save your password. And apparently, maybe it's the same password for everything that you do online. That's one of the biggest mistakes that we do. That is one of the biggest mistakes that we do. So for many readers, this tip may seem very obvious. In fact, I meet people and they usually take it like it's just obvious. However, even nowadays, the three common passwords are 123456, 123456789, and the most comical password. You get it? So people still type numbers as their password. Are you getting it? Other people just put their date of birth as their password. And in your password, try to combine upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. The longer the password, the better. You may use online password testers, such as to see how strong your password is. Using a password generator to get a random password is also a good idea. So this is something called a password generator. It helps you to create for you a unique password, and of course, it will create for you a password that has not yet been created by another person, and it cannot create that similar password for somebody else. You can use that. So a popular service such as password managers also, they generate a unique, long, and very complex password for each online account you own. These services are very comfortable, safe, and many big profile companies use them. Either way, if you have time and dedication or a big sum of money in cryptocurrency, the fastest solution will always be note the passwords on paper. And I guess this is one of the challenges we have. A lot of people will say, I'll remember my password. I'll remember my password. And most of the time you find that, I think the other day I was just chatting with, in fact, yesterday I was telling Louis, I was looking for my blockchain wallet password, the original password, not the PIN number. I can operate the blockchain here, but I could not find my password. And I think I got so troubled because I could not remember where I had written it down. These are some of the things I'm talking about. So always write them down and keep them safe. You can even duplicate. Just have write them down and have copies somewhere differently, just in case something happens to the copy you had. So the other security measure is that avoid public Wi-Fi. I think this is one of the key things I tell each and every other person who comes to the crypto space. Always avoid public Wi-Fi. Avoid public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi can be a comfortable service. However, you must avoid interacting with any exchange or wallets while connected. I think most of us usually even see people who are in coffee shops, just taking their coffee, their laptops and stuff. And most of the time you'll just hear somebody say, help me with your password, help me with your password, from the service people over there. And it usually gives me jitters because one of the things I usually say, I hope they don't have cryptocurrencies or anything. Anyway, why? Hackers can collect easily the data transmitted through the network, for instance, your login credentials. And this is very easy to do. As long as you're in the same IP address with hackers, they can see everything you're doing on your laptop. I got so shocked when I was learning about this. Because at times you might be seated with somebody and they're taking every data, everything you're doing on your laptop, they can see and they can take any data you're having. That's how risky public Wi-Fi's are. That's how risky public Wi-Fi's are. So we strongly recommend to never connect to any financial service on this network. Avoid using these networks for your financial services. In case of a desperate situation, at least use a VPN. And I think we have browsers like Brave browser, which is a blockchain browser that comes with a VPN, installed VPN, but you need to activate it once you install that. So of course, this will protect you in case maybe need be that you need to use public Wi-Fi somewhere to access your funds. The other thing you really need to note is beware of phishing scams. And I think I experienced this one day with one of my friends. He has quite a lot of cryptocurrency. And I was helping him move some cryptos from an exchange to his wallet. And he just went and searched for URL, but he never confirmed the URL. The website he was opening. And when he opened it, when he turned the laptop for me to see, I quickly noticed that was a phishing website. It was not the real website. And if we didn't take action within seconds, all his account would have been wiped. He was so scared. And I told him, yes, you need to always counter-check which website you're getting into. You don't need to click just any pop-up website that comes on your phone and these adverts. Don't do that. Don't just see something flashy coming on your phone and you click on it. Most of these things are malwares. And once a malware is installed on your phone, you can lose all your cryptocurrencies. And this is what we call phishing scams. Okay, let me explain this a little bit. You may know about phishing scams as the most common method to steal your credentials for traditional online banking. Cryptocurrency exchanges and wallets are also subject to this disguise technique. One of the most basic scam techniques used by hackers to steal your bitcoins and altcoins. Phishing scams create a false website. This is why I usually tell people always confirm the website you're getting into. So phishing scams create a false website which resembles the original website. In fact, it's very hard for you to differentiate between a phishing account, website, and a real website. That is always good to check that URL where you're getting into. The user is fooled and does not know they have been redirected to a fake site. The user inserts the username and password, and now the hackers have your credentials. The hacker can send easily the funds to their wallet. That's what I was telling you. If you didn't act very fast when I was with that doctor, all his funds could have gone. If you regularly access exchanges, an easy security measure is to bookmark these websites. Just bookmark them on your platform. Always access using your bookmarks, and you'll be safe. The phishing sites tend to focus on common typing errors. A notable example was my ETH wallet, a respectable Ethereum wallet platform, which was a victim of several phishing scams. Websites created for phishing scams, myethwallet.com. And you can see what they've just added is the letters Y, E. That's the only difference they just did. They just entered the letter Y and E differently. And you can imagine, you're typing myethwallet.com, you think you're going to the real, to your wallet, and you're opening another wallet. And of course, once you enter your credentials, you're good to go. So you can see this was a phishing account which had Y with 2 dots on top and E with 2 dots on top. But if you check the real address was myetherwallet.com. It doesn't have any of these. Look at this. This had myether Y with 2 dots on top and E with 2 dots on top. So if you're really like not keen on what you're doing, your Bitcoins are gone and your cryptos are gone. So you can see at first glance, you won't notice anything wrong. The styling in a copy, the styling is a copy of the original site, although the URL is slightly different. myetherwallet.com versus myetherwallet.com. And in fact, you can see in those two, there's also a typing error. This one is myetherwallet.com versus, you can see the word wallet, A is starting and W is second. And most of these phishing accounts, by the way, just to tell you, what they usually do is that they also do pay for adverts. So anytime you're typing a URL, always check for an AD. Never open a URL that has AD. It means it's advertised. Mostly original websites don't have ADs. They don't do adverts. So it's also good to note that anytime you go for to type in any URL, don't go for anything that has AD because it's advertised, and most of those that's how hackers use URL to really steal your cryptos. Number 5, do not store your cryptocurrency on exchanges. Okay, I'll talk about these because I know a lot of us do have cryptocurrencies in exchanges. These may be the most common mistake made by crypto holders. The word exchange already provides you with a clue of what is the purpose of these platforms. They are used to exchange. They are not intended for the custody of your cryptocurrencies. The largest amount of stolen Bitcoin has been due to the hacks of exchanges, not the cryptocurrency itself. Normally, hackers attack small exchanges which lack security, although big exchanges have been hit. Here is a list of some of the notable Bitcoin heists. Until to date. MTGOX, this was the first exchange that was started, I think, in 2011, 2013 there, but it already, there's a case ongoing of MT that is ongoing with MTGOX, and all the funds are in those accounts are frozen since, I think, 2013. So MTGOX was a US-based exchange, and you can see over 850 BTC worth 450 million at that time in 2011. In fact, it was hacked in 2011, and over 850 BTC were stolen. Just imagine that. Bitfinex is another exchange, and over 120 BTC, hackers took off with that. Bitcoin Acre, over 43,000 BTC, went like that with hackers. Bitflow, we have 24,000. Bitstamp is another exchange, over 19,000. Binance, I think this is very recent. I think it happened in 2019. And over 7,000 Bitcoins were stolen from Binance. Binance is the biggest exchange in the whole world. So it's not only the small exchanges that can be hacked. Even bigger exchanges do go through this. Of course, Poloniex lost 97 Bitcoins to hackers. So we placed Binance and Poloniex not because of the amount, just to make you aware that even reputable exchanges can get hacked. Fortunately, exchanges have evolved and also their security measures. The biggest BTC hack mainly occurred when the cryptocurrency exchanges were still young and their security measures were low. Nevertheless, Binance was hit in 2019. That's what I was saying, in 2019, even though no exchange is safe of hack attack. So of course, don't keep a whole lot of cryptos in an exchange. It's a security measure. So the only reason to have your digital assets on exchanges would be if you are a daily trader. If you are a holder, or long-term trader, the best practice would be to store your Bitcoin or altcoins on a cryptocurrency wallet. If you wish to exchange for another cryptocurrency or fiat, send it to your wallet once you've completed the trade. Remember, whoever has the private key controls the money. This is one of the key things we've been saying in Bitcoin 101. Not your private keys, not your Bitcoins. It's just like saying, if I put my money in the bank, I don't have custody over it. Yes, I can say it's my money, but literally it's not my money because it's not in my custody. So one key rule in cryptocurrency, not your private keys, not your Bitcoin. If somebody is holding Bitcoins on your behalf, you don't have the private keys to your wallet, those are not your Bitcoins. They are in somebody else's custody. Number 6, keep your devices safe. Use Okay, use your common sense and concentrate on basic safe use measures. Practices such as don't download any suspicious file. And I think this is one of the weaknesses we have, where like out of curiosity, anything you see popping up, you want to click and you want to really know what is happening and stuff. So keep your firewall updated. Always have firewall on your on your gadgets, and enable and don't visit hazardous websites. Don't do that. If you wish to install a software, always check before opinions of other users or if the company behind it is transparent enough to trust. And this is why I usually tell people, don't, and especially these online businesses nowadays, which they tell you, oh, just log into this website and deposit money. Our businesses are online, and you do that without really doing research on even the people who are telling you to invest the money on their website and stuff. And this is how we get to lose our funds when it comes to cryptocurrency. Number 7, buy a cryptocurrency hardware wallet. Now, there are two types of wallets. In fact, there are three types of wallets when it comes to cryptocurrency. Two key words is hot wallet and cold wallet. Now, hot wallet is any wallet that is connected to internet, like your blockchain wallet, um, your atomic wallet, Coinbase wallet, all those are hot wallets because it's easily connected to the internet. We also now have what we call a cold wallet, and a cold wallet is a hardware wallet. They look like flash disks, and of course, this keeps your funds offline. You only access them when you want, but any other time they are offline. So this security measure depends greatly on the amount of money you have in Bitcoin. Of course, I usually tell people once you hit over 1 Bitcoin and above, it's good to have a hardware wallet. As a rule of thumb, we recommend that if you have more than $500 worth in Bitcoin, it's recommended to buy a cryptocurrency hardware wallet. Okay, for them, they are saying $500. For me, I usually say a full Bitcoin. But I guess it's because that time Bitcoin was a little bit lower. So, and of course, again, you will also need to check how much is that hardware wallet am I buying, and is it really reasonable for me to spend all this money for me to buy to keep $500 worth of Bitcoin there. So there are many hardware wallets. Of course, it's good to know that there are many hardware wallets. Cryptocurrency hardware wallets are far the safest approach to store your digital assets. A cryptocurrency hardware wallet is a specialized device which has been solely designed for security. The device stores your private keys inside an impenetrable impenetrable circuit and allows them to sign transactions with a single click. As many other wallets, it offers a speed to transfer easily your private keys in case your device is stolen or lost. If you have small amount of Bitcoin or you want a faster and seamless wallet, you may use hot wallet. This is what I was talking about. There are different types of cryptocurrency, hot and hardware wallets. If your device is safe and is in safe environment, hot wallet is safer than leaving your cryptocurrencies in an exchange. So I think one of these fine days we'll go down and discuss now types of wallets and so that you can also learn in one of these Bitcoin 101s, which kind of wallets can you keep your Bitcoins into. Okay. Number 8, enable two-factor authentication. Let me just read these through. Two-factor authentication is an extra layer of security of validation. It adds an extra step on the login process, an extra layer of security. You need to insert an extra password to access. This password is generated by an app, which is Google Authenticator or Auth, stored in your smartphone. Every couple of seconds, a new password is generated for more security. The purpose is to create an extra security layer to make it more difficult for the hacker. The hacker would have to steal your phone to access it. And again, if you have like two gadgets, you can always also have the two authenticators on your phone. So in case one gadget is lost, you still have your other security on another gadget, because you can import or you can copy paste those security Google authenticators into gadgets. So it helps unless now somebody hacks or steals both your laptop and they get your phone, and maybe they also have your email passwords and everything. That's why I was saying it's very dangerous for you to be saving even passwords like for emails and everything on your gadget, because it has access of your maybe my laptop and my phone, and they can easily open my phone, and I've saved all my emails there, and I have maybe the same similar password for maybe all my accounts and wallets. They can easily access my funds. But in most cases, it's very difficult for you to lose your laptop and your phone and everything at the same time. So that's another key security measure. So most exchanges offer two-way authentication and are easy to install. One thing I'll tell you for a fact, and this is one of the major key, I think, challenges we have with a lot of people. They hear about two-way authentication, and there's a mistake we always do. When you are setting up Google Authenticator for any exchange or even your email or anywhere you want to just put an extra layer of security, never forget either to take a screenshot of the QR code and the code that usually comes when you're opening and store it safely. A safer way is to write those letters down the way they are. If you cannot write them down, please take a screenshot and save it easily. Because once you lose that, that's the code in case my phone is stolen and I want to install back all these Google Authenticator for me to access my funds. If I don't have that original code that is sent, the first time I'm downloading Google Authenticator for maybe an exchange or a wallet, those funds are gone. It's very hard for you to crack that. You cannot really get help. But it's not something really difficult. It's just a way of a security measure that you need to write it down. You need to take a screenshot and save it somewhere very easily. Two-factor authentication can and should be used on the email you use to log into the exchange. So additional option as a random pin sent to your email is good, but for the SMS, also they are offered by some exchanges. But one of our lecturers called Andreas Antonopoulos, he's against people using your phone message to get the OTP. He was saying it's not, in fact, even here, they have said that either way, we strongly recommend not using SMS verification, OTP, avoid it. Especially, it's fancy because it usually just comes straight to your phone, but you can see the security measure is not even read that. Saying avoid using them. I had them, but I disabled all of them. So I don't have any SMS verification on any of my platforms. The other thing is keep your cryptocurrency holding private. You may be proud of an investment you've made in cryptocurrency. Many investors brag of their holdings and successes. Many did a great surge in 2017. And I think this is one of the things. Most of the time when you're talking to people about cryptocurrency, they will always ask you, okay, Lawrence, how much do you hold? And I think there's one of my friends who used to ask, if you ask them that question, they use to ask you, do you want to help me spend it? Or maybe, how will it help you? How will it help you even if I tell you I have 10,000 Bitcoin? So keep your holding private. It's a private business. This is like somebody asking you, How much money do you have in your bank account? Or how many assets do you own in total? I'm sure you wouldn't be very comfortable to really tell somebody, I own $100,000, or maybe I have a million, 2 million, or $3 million. You won't feel that comfortable. So keep it your, it's your business. So nowadays people have learned that this may not be a very good idea. The most extreme example is a Bitcoin holder who was murdered after being forced to send his Bitcoin. So you see, people can listen to what you're saying and then they come after you. So cryptocurrencies don't have an identity attached to the money as traditional bank does. So if you have private keys, if you have the private keys of Bitcoin, you are the owner. Therefore, if you are obliged to sell your Bitcoin to an address, you won't be able to reclaim them. For criminals, this can be attractive. This can be attractive. A simple solution is not to boast about your holdings to people, or at least keep a raw profile about it. In conferences, meetups, or out of curiosity of your friends, you may get the question of how much cryptocurrency you hold. Avoid answering these questions for security, especially if you hold substantial amount of cryptocurrency. Number 10, as I finish, is avoid sending funds to a wrong address. And I think this is just a common thing that all of us should be aware of. Cryptocurrencies addresses are very long and complex. This is an example of a wallet address, the one there, this one, from B to R. So if you send the asset to a wrong address by mistake, you lose your funds because it's not reversible. And the addresses are not attached to any identity, and you won't know who you've sent to. You won't be able to contact the person holding the address. Additional, if you find the holder, you can't oblige them to return the funds. With Bitcoins and altcoins, there's no middleman, which for many reasons has clear advantage. But for this kind of issues, you are alone. So it doesn't make at Bitcoin to be very like risky, no. You just need to be cautious when you are sending bitcoins. So of course, counter check those wallet addresses with somebody. As the addresses are very long, it's not recommendable to type these addresses manually. Never ever. Many exchanges and wallets offer a copy to click button. Selecting the address manually can also create a mistake. Either way, if you copy paste the address, you must always check if they are the same. Counter check. Unfortunately, there have been cases where copy paste functionality has been hacked. A common practice is to check the first and the last 5 digits of the wallet address. In fact, it's good also you note them down. The first 5 and the last 5. Always confirm those addresses. Transfers in cryptocurrency are very low fees. Therefore, it's very recommendable to send a small amount and check if it works. And especially if this is for a new wallet address, and maybe you want to send a whole lot of money into that wallet, you can just send even like $10 or $5 or even cents in dollars just to check and tell somebody, can you confirm that you have received what I've sent first? So if they confirm, of course, you know it's good to go. Then you can send the whole amount. It doesn't cost almost any money, so there's no excuse. So when you're dealing with cryptocurrency, don't be in a hurry. I usually tell people don't multitask. I usually tell people you can multitask, but you'll never multi-focus. And when it comes to cryptocurrency, you totally need to focus because a slight mistake, you can wipe all your funds out. So let me just go through again what we've shared. I'm done with my crypto basic security. And number one is that the number one key thing is take security measures seriously. Don't take it for granted. Use complex paths. Avoid using public Wi-Fi. Beware of phishing scams. These are websites, replica of the other websites. Do not store your crypto on exchanges unless you are trading. Keep your devices safe. Buy a cryptocurrency hardware wallet, and then enable two-factor authentication. And then the other thing is keep your cryptocurrencies holding private, and then avoid sending funds to a wrong address. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I want just to pass the baton to Louis so that he can also take us through what has been happening in the industry. I hope, of course, you're learning and we are adding value to your life. Thanks, Louise. I can see you've been answering questions here. So let me just give the hosting rights to Louis so that he can tell us what has been happening in the world of cryptocurrency globally. I'll be on the chat. You can just drop any questions you have. So Louis, take it away.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lawrence. That was a very elaborative breakdown of how to store your wallets. So I hope we took down the 10 notes. I've just posted on the chat. I think, Lawrence, you can share the link for the article. I think there's somebody who asked about it. But for any recording, you can always follow the YouTube channel. I think I've also posted the link there, so you can at least have a listen again. So I hope you can all hear me. Hope you can all hear me. I can see we also live on Facebook and also on YouTube. I'm going to be sharing my screen just to give us a summary of the week, what has been happening, what was the highlights. Then at least we know where we are heading. So let me share my screen right away. Just a minute. Share the screen. Okay. Just a minute. I'll share the screen. So I hope we are all learning. Hope we all getting value. That's why we are, myself and Lawrence, we are here to at least break it down for you. It's not complicated as many people would think. It's actually quite very simple. And I'll be starting with in light of what just Lawrence has said, how bad it can be. And I think for those who follow our Telegram channel, I think I shared these on Thursday or Wednesday. The reasons why at times if you don't store your passwords properly, you can end up losing a whole lot of value, because you now realize Bitcoin is quite valuable. And I think as Lawrence was sharing about the hackings of the exchanges, I actually did a small calculation, and I think I've shared on the chat. The 850,000 Bitcoins that was stolen from MTGOX is now worth, I think it was 31 billion. And you can imagine how valuable that is. Now we have on the screen, there's somebody called, I think he's called Stefan Thomas. He's a German programmer who was based in San Francisco. I think as per this article, he was in Switzerland. He had actually done a video that was back in 2011 about what is Bitcoin. And I think a very a good fan who I think who liked the video, actually I think paid him or sent him about 7,000 Bitcoins. That was in 2011. But now, unfortunately, the guy saved the Bitcoins on a hard drive. And what happened, he forgot the password access to that hard drive. Meaning, if he cannot access the hard drive, he cannot be able to access the Bitcoins. And now I think he only has it's called, I think it's called Ion Key. That is the type of security he was using. So the Ion Key has basically given him, I think you normally have like 10 tries. So he has now on the eighth one. And if he does the two wrongly, the hard drive will lock forever, and that will be a gone story. So you see how important it is for you to keep your Bitcoins safe, like the 10 key points that Lawrence broke it down. So let me go straight to the news. I don't want to take much time. It's already I think it's it's almost 40 past or something. So I think we'll start with Miami. Miami, I think I think I saw last week. You can see Miami mayor wants to put some of the city's treasury reserves into Bitcoin. So you can imagine a whole city. You can imagine like as the city, the county of Nairobi, the city, putting some of their holdings into Bitcoins. That's how some governments are actually quite ahead, and they are seeing the potential of this asset. So Miami's Mayor Francis Suarez is considering putting some money into the city's treasury reserves into Bitcoin. If I would have done it last year, I would have made 200% plus return. So I would have looked like a genius. That is what the mayor said. So when you see such comments, it's like it's Bitcoin is starting to get a very a key status that it's actually the digital store of value. What he said again, let me just maybe read the first paragraph. We are looking at the possibility of diversifying our portfolio our investment portfolio and having and holding a percentage on our investments in Bitcoin. Suarez told Fox Business in an interview on Thursday that if you had done it last year, basically put the reserves into Bitcoin, you would have been like 200% up this year. So that's was with the mayor of Miami. So moving forward, I think to Twitter and Twitter, I think they are in the news a couple of I think last week they banned some accounts like now for Donald Trump. This is how at times you realize centralization at times doesn't work. So one Ethereum co-founder, and this is actually how you get to see that cryptocurrencies are solving actual social cases. So Ethereum co-founder wants to help Jack Dorsey decentralize Twitter. So Charles Hoskinson says he's working on a social media project and wants Twitter's decentralization project open up to the community. Because Twitter and any other social media platform is becoming a powerful tool for control and also for communication. That's why it's very, one needs to be careful on how they actually use Twitter. So Charles is actually the founder of Cardano, that's another cryptocurrency, tweeted to the CEO of the Jack Dorsey, that is this week. That is Charles, who also helped Foundation Ethereum, says he's working on something regarding social media. So we'll see how this goes, because I think this is how you get to see actual use cases of cryptocurrencies working. Moving forward, I think we go over to Germany. Germany actually, again, still on the same use cases, whereby you are seeing actual things that are being applied in our day-to-day life. So Germany real estate developer actually is investing in a tokenization for basically they are looking to sell, or rather to tokenize their real estate investments. So Fundament is using blockchain to decentralize property ownership and open the market to a broader range of investors. So in July, that is last year, the company received approval from the Germany's financial market supervisory, that is similar to CMA in Kenya, for 250 million euros tokenized real estate bond. So again, that's where the world is heading into. Moving forward again to matters of health, a Cyprian hospital commences COVID-19 vaccination with VeChain solution. So VeChain is another cryptocurrency, and they are looking actually to solving or rather to dispensing the COVID-19 vaccination to the doctors. So the Mediterranean Hospital of Cyprus has successfully vaccinated some of its staff against the COVID-19, including 100 doctors and personnel. The process was carried out via VeChain powered EH-SAT-COVID solution, according to a blog post on 5th January. So they basically documenting, or rather the data that are used to vaccinate doctors on the VeChain like ecosystem, which is actually is accessible to anyone. It is immutable, and also it is I can say it is decentralized. So that way, no one can. And you can imagine as we go by, people will start. You'll need to have COVID vaccination certificates to travel. So I believe this is how this kind of hospital is actually forward thinking in terms of now using blockchain itself. China as well, on the same blockchain matters, Chinese hospital issues first electronic bill on blockchain. So Hanian is one of the few provinces that have successfully incorporated blockchain technology into their public institution online administrative platforms. So you see, we have all been talking about how is blockchain going to be used for this and this, but now we are seeing it physically. So the hospital in China sent the first electronic bill to a patient on its blockchain-based invoice management platform on Monday. So the People's Hospital of Chiangmai County, a public hospital in the Hainan province of South China, is the first hospital to issue and keep track of invoices on a blockchain in the province, according to a report of Chinese media. So this is very exciting. This is very impressive, actually, is to see actual use cases that are being implemented out there. And this is what, again, gives value to cryptocurrency in general as it grows. That is, again, of course, despite the bull run and the price correction. That is the other side of the story. But again, moving forward to another story within China. So China launches the digital one hard wallet card pilot program. We've been talking so much about China testing the CBDCs, and now it is actually it is a reality. So the People's Bank of China, that is PBOC, have green light have green lighted a physical card wallet pilot to test its digital one. Coffee shop staff in a Shanghai-based university hospital was chosen as participants in the pilot. Remember, initially they actually launched the digital wallet, and they actually gave people free money for them to like spend and do shopping just to test it. So according to Tencent staff members at Shanghai Jiao Tong University School of Medicine, they used the digital yuan token to pay for food. They used a point of sale device and a physical card with a small screen on the top right corner. As you can see over there, that's how the card is looking like. So this is how basically how digitization is working, and it's not far there. It's actually working, as you can see right there. So one of the photos featured in Tencent article also shows a hospital staff member holding a card with 144.7 yuan on it and 3 offline payments available. The latter feature allows people to pay or accept the E1 transfers without Wi-Fi or a mobile network connection. I hope that rings some bells. The latter feature allows people to pay or accept E1 transfers without Wi-Fi or a mobile network connection. I think this is quite interesting. I think I'll be going to look in, more into this because this is actually quite exciting. So moving forward to Pakistan, and now we're talking about Pakistan is now using government funds to mine Bitcoin. This is interesting because you very few governments actually are coming out to mine or rather to get into the cryptocurrency space by actually investing on physical facilities. So the country's economic growth has slowed down in the past few years, but Bitcoin mining could help partially revive that. So in brief, the government of one of Pakistan's 4 provinces has set up 2 mining farms. It had earlier pushed for affordable crypto laws in the country. Countries like Pakistan and Iran have turned into Bitcoin to revive a falling economy. So you see how governments with troublesome economies actually hedging on Bitcoin to boost their economies. Moving forward, again, still on mining, and that is why actually all those countries are focusing on to Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining difficulty hits record high amid miners' revenue surge, meaning miners are getting a lot of money because of course of the recent bull run, because whatever they had mined, of course, it's what valuable now. So as per CoinDesk, the news website that does a very nice analysis and also reporting, Bitcoin's mining difficulty just reached a record high above $20.6 trillion, as more people are mining at larger scale than ever before, thanks to the ballooning mining revenue and Bitcoin's parabolic price rally. So that is one of the key reasons why most big corporations are turning on to Bitcoin to actually hedge and accumulate more of it. So that, I think we're going to see more and more of this as we go by, and it will actually be quite exciting. So just in summary, salaries adjustments at block number 665,280 marks an 11% increase from the last adjustment. So what normally happens, Bitcoin, the difficulty, that is like how complex to solve the block, normally goes up every, I think after every 14 blocks, or is it 10 blocks? So after the 14 blocks, it just higher. So just yesterday, there was an 11% increase in that difficulty, meaning now more miners needs to use more power to secure Bitcoin's protocol. So I think that is also interesting to note. Then moving forward, top 100 Bitcoin addresses accumulated 11 billion more BTC in the past 30 days. So top 100 Bitcoin addresses accumulated more than, that's 11 billion more Bitcoin in the last 30 days, just of the recent rally. So these 100 richest wallets have snapped up to almost 350,000 Bitcoins in the last 30 days, because people are selling, maybe by panic, or maybe they are selling it at the higher price. So the majority barely reacted to Bitcoin's recent price drop from 41,000 to below 33,000. Only 7 addresses conducted transfers out of the wallet since the most recent high. So usually you'll see Bitcoins moving from some addresses to other addresses, depending on how the price is behaving. And usually there are people who actually accumulate in the long term. So this was just an observation by this particular company that actually it's a Cointelegraph that actually did this news. And when you talk about addresses that hold more than 11 billion, I think I'm going to be looking at I think three key people that just to show you how, or rather how to validate this particular news. I think there are 4 key people. Number one is somebody called Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, I think, is one of the serial entrepreneurs. If most of you maybe watch Shark Tank, you may have seen him there. So Mark Cuban says crypto is exactly like .com bubble. Now, let me go down to the news, because at times you have very alarming titles, but most of us don't get to read the actual content. So he also owns a basketball team called Dallas Mavericks. It says that the current market rally is exactly like the .com bubble of the late 1990s. It's a series of recent tweets. He recommends his followers to learn how to hedge in order not to end up on a losing side. Along the way, many fortunes will be made and lost, and we found out who was the stomach to hodl. That is the word that used to show people who are like holding for the long term, and who doesn't. My advice: learn how to hedge, and that's why actually we have a recruit here to show you the basics. So he actually said there's something I'm looking for that he said that yeah, I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, a few others will be analogous to those that were built during the .com era. Survived the bubble, busting and thrived like Amazon, eBay, and Priceline. So he's actually putting more emphasis on the key cryptocurrencies in the long term. Most of these other cryptocurrencies will, of course, fizzle out, just the way you only have Amazon, you have eBay and Priceline, who are the most like valuable companies right now. So that may be the same. Those are his sentiments, and I think for coming from somebody who was actually against Bitcoin in initial stages is actually quite interesting. So moving forward to the person number 2, I said I'm going to talk about I think 4 people. The other person is you know about Robert Kiyosaki. So he actually said buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin bidden to start printing money. Yeah, so he's actually telling you buy Bitcoin. The U.S. government is actually looking to printing more money in the coming few days. For those of us who follow the Telegram channel, I think for maybe Lawrence can post the link there, because that's where we usually post why when you talk about printing money, what does it mean? What effect does it have to the economy? What effect does it have to the Bitcoin ecosystem? So Robert Kiyosaki has recommended investors to buy Bitcoin. He says that the Biden administration will print more dollars to stimulate the economy. He also expects the rules to change at the Federal Reserve, thus facilitating additional money printing. Bitcoin has been consolidating between 40,000 to 41 price levels over the weekend, and daily close will be determined the next move. So, in the US government printing dollars, they're basically devaluing the dollar. That's why you need to hedge on something that doesn't depreciate, something that appreciates. So you can always read more about it. I think we'll share the links of these news if you want. But this is the second person that actually is talking very highly of Bitcoin. Just to maybe to quote, he said the first 100 days, Biden to start printing money, first step to change the rules of the Fed. That's why Janet Yellen, the former Fed chairman of Secretary of Treasury, once the Fed rules change, helicopters start drop money directly to people. Dollar will be destroyed. Buy gold, silver, Bitcoin. So that is, I think I won't add anything there. The third person I'm going to talk about is Elon Musk. I think we know Elon Musk recently because of his company called Tesla. That is the biggest electric car manufacturer. He says Elon Musk, the world richest person, wants to be paid in Bitcoin. And most of us maybe wouldn't know. Elon Musk actually was one of the early investors into companies like PayPal. Actually, he's the founder of PayPal, which he sold it to other things, to what he's doing now. And PayPal actually is now going big on crypto. So it would be interesting for him to tell you that he wants to be paid in Bitcoin. So the billionaire founder of Tesla and SpaceX, who just became the world's richest man, said that he would never turn down being paid in the soaring cryptocurrency Bitcoin. So he was responding to a tweet by Ben Mezerich, the author of behind the movie The Social Network and the writer of Bitcoin Billionaires, that read, I'm never turning down getting paid in Bitcoin again. Malik Musk replied, and also the author said, me neither. So that's interesting. And for those who know, actually, it's good to keep stacking Bitcoin in the long term. The last person I'm going to talk about in this is actually, it's called Chamath Palihapitiya. Sees Bitcoin as an insurance hedge against uncertainty. These are very influential people in the global economies, and they actually all talking about one thing. This fund or this digital currency called Bitcoin is something that actually you should take keen look at it. So the fabric of society is frayed, said the former Facebook executive. So the Bitcoin price has dramatically risen over the past days. I think, let me see what he says exactly. So he said, citing a possible 5 or 10-year time horizon, Palihapitiya says he thinks Bitcoin will reach 200,000 at some point. Let me read that again. He thinks Bitcoin will reach $200,000 for one at some point. The reason is because every time you see all of this stuff happening, just like Robert Kiyosaki saying the print of money, it just reminds you that wow, our leaders are not as trustworthy and reliable as they used to be. He told CNBC in the interview on Thursday. He added, so just in case we really do need to have some kind of view, the insurance insurance we keep under our pillow, that gives us some access to uncorrelated hedge. I think he was just trying to compare what we normally do, keeping money in the pillows. So I'll just maybe quote again what he said. The fabric of the society is frayed, and until we figure out how to make it better, it's time to just have a little schmuck insurance on the side. And everybody's running in. It's just an incredible thing I could have never imagined. So that is key words coming from Chamath, who's actually one of the key people that we follow, and also he lands, I think, Galactic, one of the space shuttles that are going to be flying to Mars for tourism. So yeah, and in closing, I think I'm going to look at now 2 banks. That is Goldman Sachs. It says Goldman Sachs to enter a crypto market soon with custody play. That is, let me just read a bit. So US banking powerhouse Goldman Sachs has issued a request of information to explore digital asset custody, according to a source inside the bank. These are the same banks who are telling you, who are writing very alarming news about the way Bitcoin is a bubble, the way Bitcoin it's something that doesn't have any value. Now they are applying the request for information to the Security and Exchange Commission to explore digital asset. They now want to keep that Bitcoins from you. And just from what Lawrence have shared about the 10 points, this is not actually, we wouldn't recommend you to keep your holdings for somebody else, unless it's an arrangement that you know what exactly the company is doing. Now the bank is asking you to, they want to now start storing digital assets. When asked about the timing, the Goldman Sachs says the bank custody plans would be evident soon. So the Goldman's digital asset custody, RFI, was circulated to at least one well-known crypto custody player, that is by the end of 2012. So that is from Goldman Sachs. The other biggest bank, as you know, is called Morgan Stanley, now holds 10% stake in Michael Sayer's MicroStrategy. So Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy is one of the big companies on the past, I think for past 4 months, they have been actually buying Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is a fund management company, and they have actually bought more than $450 million worth of Bitcoin. It is now that it is coming out to be known that Morgan Stanley again, the bank that was talking really bad about Bitcoin invested actually in the company. So they are basically taking a strategic ownership, not directly, but using another company. But in the end, of course, they be channeling their monies to that. So, per filing with the Securities Exchange Commission, released on January 8th, investment bank Morgan Stanley has acquired 792,627 shares in business intelligence firm MicroStrategy. The investment represents a 10.9% stake in the firm that has made massive investment in Bitcoin over the past several months. So again, you see how the big boys and banks are playing in terms of acquiring the wealth. In summary, I think I'll talk about taxation and also regulations. You see now South Korean government starting to tax Bitcoin trading platforms from the year 2022. So the government would actually, new rules would impose 20% tax on crypto profits. So the South Korean government has issued an amendment to introduce a tax on cryptocurrency trading profits. The plan is now a reality, and after several attempts to delay it by the lawmakers. So you can see how lawmakers has been like they're trying to play it slow, sort of because this is how you can say the disruption is coming. They don't want they want the status quo to remain. So per Asia Today, that is a news agency, the legislative notice details that an amendment will be enacted in February, and profits from buying and selling cryptos in South Korea will be taxed at 20%. However, the rule is applicable only to crypto holders with annual income over 2.5 million won. That's about $2,300. That is what it is subject to. So, of course, you can see the bigger economy will actually be able to transact without no taxes. That's very, I think, a good approach coming from the Korean government. The other one, I think, was Kenya. I think who actually said something about them wanting Kenya expects to earn $46 million as new tax targeting crypto exchanges comes to in force. I think as I summarize, let not these big titles scare you. Always go to the content, go to the specifics of these big articles, because at the end of it, you realize it's not really applicable as such, depending on observing from where we sit. Because at the end of it all, you need to have laws. You have to openly regulate these currencies, cryptocurrencies, for you to start taxing it. So that is a very interesting turn that we'll see how it will play. So I think there was a lawyer from PricewaterhouseCoopers. He says, meanwhile, the new tax measures have been received with mixed feelings from inside Kenya. Lawrence Mugai, there's a tax expert with the PwC in Kenya, said the country tries to bring under the just meeting somebody. Let me read that again. Lawrence said that the country intends to bring under the tax net enterprises operating within the digital economy that have little or no presence in the market jurisdiction. So it's basically very difficult for you to basically put a pen and paper on where or how you're going to tax these like the normal person who is like trading Bitcoin, buying something in Bitcoin. Is actually quite difficult. And with that, I think I shared actually also on the chat this week about the 10 countries that don't tax Bitcoin gains. It was a very interesting list from Belarus to Germany to on a Telegram channel that I posted. So I think with that, I think I'll end my session there. I hope we are all learning. I hope we're getting value. And let me see if there's any questions. But for me, that does it. And I will be looking forward to seeing you next week as we do more of these summaries and also analysis in terms of how the market is going. So thank you very much. And let me pass the hosting rights back to Lawrence. Just a minute. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Luis, for such a detailed run through of what is happening in the whole world. I don't want to take a whole lot of time because I think we've shared a lot, and there's also another webinar going on once we finish these. And I've already I've sent out to some people. You kindly join that webinar. Of course, it's a way of you also learning more and more about cryptocurrency. Now, one key thing I'll just highlight from what Louis was sharing. We've been talking about central bank digital currencies, and I think you've seen what digital yuan can enable you to do. It will enable you to make payments without, I don't know whether that hit everybody's attention. It will enable you make payments without any mobile network or internet connection. Meaning what you're getting from central bank does not need any third party anywhere. And a lot of people have been asking, what will happen to these institutions that are third parties when it comes to sending and receiving value? I think I'll just leave that point for you to really think what is coming in this decade, because over 80% of all 80% of central banks are looking up to come in with a digital currency. So stay tuned for our next Bitcoin 101 every Saturday at 10. I do really appreciate you finding time to come and join us. I hope you found value in what we've shared with you. Of course, like I said, the recording is on our YouTube channel. You can go there and subscribe. You can also be able to see previous sessions that we've had. And in case of anything you want us to discuss, drop us a message, join our Telegram channel, follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and also on LinkedIn for more crypto information and education. We don't get left behind as people are getting into these rabbit hole. I usually call it rabbit hole of blockchain and digital assets. So God bless you all. I do appreciate you for taking your time. I hope you have found value in what we've shared today. So have a good one. See you next week on Bitcoin 101 at Saturday, every Saturday at 10 to 11. God bless you and have a great Saturday.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. Thank you. God bless you. Happy weekend.
Thank you, Lawrence, and God bless you.
Thank you.